Hello, welcome to my channel. Let's be real. I'll be talking about why is it hard to let people go. A lot of the times in life, as you know, we form bonds to people, and those bonds then make our connection to that person stronger. But I feel like a lot of the times we have too much codependency on a person. It could be a friend, a relationship, anything. It could be anything in life, but that codependency makes it a lot harder. It comes to a point where codependency is toxic. You should be most dependent, if anything, on yourself, depending on your circumstances. But when you are even put in situations where you have to depend on somebody, that can make that codependency grow. If you think about it, most people, even in a relationship, can't fathom taking a break because they want to be with that person all the time. And it comes to a point where, I feel like codependency will break a relationship because it will deplete at least one of you. And by the time that person's depleted, the other person, it's just a lot. We also set a lot of expectations for things, people, places, and you don't know if that person's going to be in your life forever. And those expectations also amplify things with how we feel for that person. I mean, you're only 6 months into dating. You're already talking about marriage. You're not even 6 months into dating. You're only a year, let's say, or less than that. And also, my biggest thing with that is that if you date to marry and you are dating a person and they have the same values that you do, why is it such a rush to get married? Why is it a rush to even think about being married? We're just getting through today. We don't know if tomorrow's even going to exist. I feel like those are things that really do hold us back, especially like when it comes down to leaving people, those plans that you had with that person, how you wanted that white picket fence and, you just wanted to build your everything with that person. And it comes to a point truly where letting someone go, you do have to let go of a past version of you because of your energy. You gave effort, you put energy and time into this person. You can't just get that back. That is time that is gone, basically, and not necessarily wasted, because to me, everything happens for a reason. But it's up to you to make the right decisions for yourself. And a lot of the times, even the people that you're with, if they don't want you to leave, but you want to leave, they're not going to agree to leaving. And this is why, it's sad to me how our generation can't even take a break from somebody because we're that codependent. It's like, oh, I need you. You're my life. I love you. You're my everything. Why aren't you your everything first? Why aren't you your biggest priority in life? A lot of the times we don't even fully know ourselves. Look at how many people enter relationships in high school. A lot of people are also so focused into who somebody has built them up to be that my camera died. But another reason why people hold on to people as well is because of maybe who they built them up to be, like the things that they learned, the knowledge, the wisdom, all of that. But I think that a lot of the times we forget that in life, that is what life is, like the heartbreak, the pain. You learn lessons from things to then gear your life towards the right direction and not make those mistakes. And I also think that people hold on to people too as well because of the potential that they can see in the friendship or relationship growing again. And just because you see potential doesn't mean that it's going to grow. That's based off of that person and you. And if that other person doesn't want to make it work, it's not going to work. Or if it's not meant to work, it's not meant to work. Some people will come back in your lives later on, and that's because you grow and you get those missing pieces filled, and it's better. But back to the video, going back to relationships, like relationships from high school, middle school. If you realize, even starting off in middle school, it's a lot of people that get into relationships that get out. You probably have that one, probably know that one group of friends that have all basically dated each other because you're still discovering who you are. You're still trying to find out what you like and don't like. And I understand that is part of life and the experience itself. A lot of us have to go through relationships, trial and error. But it's just when you get older, it's a little bit different. And at some point, you do have to ask yourself if you really want to stop that pattern or not. But not even with the whole dating thing, just with what you have realized. But so even from middle school and high school, still trying to find out who you are, then you get into life. But we try to find out who we are through dating people and not through ourselves. And not through self-reflecting either, and not actually getting to know ourselves. We don't want to sit with the feeling of discomfort. We don't want to sit in how we feel with the sadness, the fears. The same reason why people break up and then they're on a break or something like that, but then they end up texting each other I miss you. Yes, that's part of the process of going through a break. It comes with it. But then sometimes we would truly just allow excuses to hold on to people and to keep people in our lives. And at some point, You have to ask yourself if you're really willing to let somebody go. And it's hard to let people go because it feels like it's wrong. But for a lot of people, it feels like it's wrong. But just because it feels like it's wrong doesn't mean it's right. It's the same thing with boundaries. I mean, people, like, they place boundaries for the first time and they're like, oh, I felt like mean, I felt rude, it was uncomfortable. It's gonna be like that at first. It's just part of the process. The question you really need to ask yourself about cutting this person off is like, do they support you? Do they love you? Like, are they there for you? Are they toxic? Are they bad for you? Do they bring out the best in you? Is it always argument? Like, are they jealous? Are they intimidated? You know, it's a lot of questions that you need to observe. And like, would you be better without them? Not, do you miss them? Not nothing with your feelings, but would you be better off without them? Do they cause you more stress than they do peace? Are they a safe place? Like, we're so codependent though in this world that we don't want to let people go, because we also, sorry about that, but we also try to fix people. We will try to do things to change people, but the only person at the end of the day that you can change is yourself. And if somebody really does, and think about it like this, if it truly is meant to be, you guys will come back together at some point, but not voluntarily, like you are like, yes, we're gonna be back together. If you are focused on that, getting back together, you're not truly focusing on yourself and changing. And like I said, it's that codependency in this generation that we truly have to break. And it's deemed such a bad thing to be independent. Oh, she don't need a man. I mean, like, yeah, what about it? I don't need a boyfriend. I'm secure with myself and I don't need one. And then they want to make a big deal about, oh, buy us like gifts or, you know, do something nice for us. But we already do that and hold ourselves to that standard. So if I do that for myself, what do you really bring to the table for me? What? Like, you see, the bar is already risen. The bar is raised above the bare minimum. And that's truly when you put yourself first. And also, how can you expect anybody to change though when you still allow them access to you? I don't have to change as long as I got my foot in the door and you're allowing me to have access to you. We give privileges and access to people with our energy and our presence. You being like, oh yeah, I want you to change this and this. Like, hey, like, we need to compromise something. Let's do this. But you're not taking away your space from him. You're not giving him a break from you. You're underneath him all the time. Why does he want to change when you give him everything that he needs, even the goods? Like, why? How is someone going to change when they're still in the same environment and nothing has changed with what you're doing? You have to pull back and like maybe take a break and see how that feels if you really can't decide to let somebody go either. Sometimes we just need a break and it can be overwhelming. Everybody has a different capacity for things, and then people try to hold you to their standards of what you should be with your capacity or boundaries, and it's like, but I'm me. So yeah, it's truly a lot to think over and to ask yourself about, do you want to keep this person in your life or not? Like, it's hard to let people go because of a lot of many things, but at the end of the day, push all of that aside. Are they healthy for you? Like, do they understand you? Are they toxic? Are they jealous? Like, are they a good person? Like, it's a lot of different things too. You could also want to hold on to people because we see potential in them, but the potential doesn't matter because at the end of the day, what has changed? Same thing with how, like, oh, you break up. Okay, he's calling you. Okay, he called you. She called you. They called you. What's new? You're supposed to be on a break. You're supposed to be on a break to change separately. And a lot of people want to force you to change with them in a relationship too. And that is an excuse to me to stay with somebody. There are many relationships that can, like, you know, think and like actually work problems out together, but that's not everybody. And many people would try to be like, oh, well, you're not fighting for me, or like, oh, whatever with that stuff. Like, oh, you just giving up on me because you don't want to like be in a relationship with me. But see, that tells all. We really miss a lot when we are in different headspace and we're all goo goo gaga over our like best friend or like really relationships, but like best friends too. Because people can depend on a friendship as much as they can a relationship. It doesn't matter. It's still codependency that exists, and it can vary between person. People try to use excuses to keep you in your life, and some point, like, you can only excuse stuff for so long. Even the I'll change, I'm sorry. Change. Have you changed? No. Okay, we need time. That's the best way. If you already know your answer, that's great. But if you don't, take a break. A true break. It's part of the process of missing them. them calling you, how can you take a break and focus on yourself if you're talking to the person that you need a break from and to change from? So it's just a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, you got to make the choice and it's up to you. So yeah, welcome to Let's Be Real. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment any questions or anything. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.